Okay, so we can see it, let it be like this. So please, you're welcome to start.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and let me introduce you to SignLang. I would like to start this with a question to all the judges and participants. How easy is it for you to guys get a full access to public services, lifestyle services, such as, for example, going to your hospital, talking to a doctor, or getting advice on a bank loan? Now, imagine that you're in a country where you do not speak the language. How easy that would be. Today, we're going to talk about people who do language but the sign language, and they have difficulties in this world. We have done research in Russia, UK, and Germany, and have figured out, based on a survey, that 90% of deaf people find it extremely difficult to get access in their daily life, and that is despite all the European Accessibility Act measures that put in place. Now imagine the world that basically would break barriers communication to those 5% of the population. By using combination of hardware and a software, and basically enabling us to communicate with people whose language we don't understand, and also for them to communicate with us. SignLang is a real-time gesture recognition technology that we have built an MVP on using a data set of conversation with a doctor in a Russian language. We have also designed our own using deep tech technology. And that technology basically allows us to work both ways. Translate the sign language into words and to voice, and vice versa. Translate the voice to words and then to sign language, so both ways communication. And we, of course, looking into this a bit from commercial perspective, and unfortunately, I would say World Health Organization predict that the numbers will only grow in terms of people with hearing impairment. Today, we're not alone in this space. There are some competitors, mainly based and use American Sign Language, and in the US, there is one Hungarian company, HandTalk and iSight doing something, and also big players such as Google and their related lab in Microsoft. But the common disadvantages they have is they only use one-sided translation and some extra devices compared to us. We have experienced team of software developers, Brittany and Ilya, and co-founder myself and Max. Max is an expert and has partners in hardware and integration, and I have experience in launching the businesses in e-commerce space and also fundraising and commercial sales. I also know Max for 4 years. In terms of business model, we will be making revenues from selling our own device at 1,000 euros, and also a subscription-based data set at 500. So far, we've built a pipeline from with the Russian Yandex and also Sparkasse. We haven't yet made any revenues, but we are getting closer to closing deals. We're a deep tech company, so we are raising quite slightly larger money to finance the R&D and complete the solution here in Germany, where we actually based. And that amount would be 2 million, more than half of which would be spent on salaries. Thank you very much. I'm open for any questions.
So dear judges, you're welcome to ask any questions.
It's the same with all deep tech. So now it's trained on the Russian language only?
Well, it can be trained on any language, but currently MVP is trained on Russian language. That is simply because we can, I call it hustle a little bit with the data set that we can receive. For example, we use deep schools to get the video sets, and also we use our network to get the sign language translator to build the data set. You know, speaking of deep tech, the most important part is the quality of the data set there. And what we're trying to aim is to build the same for German sign language. Yeah, but answering your question, yes, it is only MVP is built using specific dictionary and vocabulary in healthcare in Russian language.
Could you specify your target customer's profile? Who would it be?
Yeah, so currently we are basically identified several financial institutions, or like simply called retail banks here in Germany, because here in Germany you still need to go to the branch to get your loan, for example, and commercial services. And for example, one of the customers would be Sparkasse, specifically Sparkasse Düsseldorf, where we're based, and they have 30,000 branches. So we would approach them to also develop the device and the vocabulary of banking, if you wish, financial terms in sign language, and sell it to them. So it's basically a B2B sales for now. We also exploring other collaboration, joint ventures with the public sector, but for now we're speaking of specifically on the banking sector.
Did EU grants already? Like AC accelerator or?
Yeah. So we considering that, and the amount that we want to raise is a combination actually of grants and so forth. Okay. What we figured out by talking to entrepreneurs is that sometimes it's one part is we bootstrap that. Another part, if you have somebody significant investor on the board, European based, then it's much easier to get the grant rather than other way around. In terms of
sometimes you need a lawyer signed, so
yeah, so it's a little bit tedious, the process with EU grants, but answering your question, we will apply, yes.
Okay.
Can you once again emphasize your competitive advantages?
Yes, 1 second, I'll even switch to it. So we started slightly later than most of our competitors. And for us, it's a bit of an advantage because technology has evolved, especially the quality of the data we can access. Our accuracy is, I think, it's 87%. We only need one camera, and we don't need any additional equipment such as 3D gloves for usability. For collecting the data, yes, but then for usability, we don't have. So we also have advantage over not all, but some competitors in terms of that we translate both ways. So if one technology would translate only signs to text to voice and will not do reverse, we do it both ways. So the doctor, for example, can have a conversation with a deaf person and vice versa, not only one way.
So no other questions from the judge?
And that's on the picture Max, who is listening to us as well, but he's just next cubicle. It's a co-founder. Thank you very much.
So, thanks a lot for your time. Please stop sharing your screen. So, and the next one is company Bread Tech House. So tell me, please, are you ready to start?